Today I'm back here in the garage of my van getting some tools out, and I'm getting ready to change out my lead acid batteries for lithium batteries. So come along and watch the process as I do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this fuse out for this DC to DC charger. I'm not sure that step's really necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway, because it's the DC charger's supplied with a 12 volt source, and I'm not going to have the key on, but I'm just going to take the fuse out anyway, just because it's easy to do. I got this I can't really do it with one hand, but this is a reusable zip tie, and you just push that down and it pulls off, and I just use that to keep the cover on. This is the part I really wasn't looking forward to, and because I didn't install a cutoff switch on the solar, so I'm gonna have to get up in here and pull this fuse out, which really isn't a big deal, but the way I mounted this makes it kind of hard. I think that screw's stripped out. I put nylock nuts on there, and it's really in a bad spot. I have to take this piece of angle out and get all this down so I can get that fuse out. And so later I'm going to install a switch inside on these wires, because if I did that before, all I'd have to do is just turn the panels off right now. So I got the angle off, and then I just disconnected the fuse right there, and now the rest of the work is inside. And there's my charge controller, and the solar light is out because the fuse is unhooked. I'm actually replacing this too with a Victron, and I'm going to replace this battery charger with a lithium charger. So I got my refrigerator switched over to the Jackery, so I'll just run that temporarily on that while I'm changing the battery. I don't know if that's going to show up, but it's pulling 2 watts right now. It's not running. So this is my setup right now. This is what I'm taking out. I got 2 lead acid batteries. They're what are they? I think they're 125. Yeah, 125 amp hours each. So I got 2 of those wired in parallel. Got my positive bus bar, negative bus bar there. Victron shunt. That's my solar charge controller brick or fuse. And then down under here I have a DC to DC charger. So everything's staying except for the batteries. This I'll have to change the dip switches to lithium, and then I'll have to reprogram the shunt on my app. And then the charge controller is getting changed to a Victron, and then, like I said, the battery charger is getting changed. So I think I'll go ahead and take this battery charger out right now. Actually, the easiest thing to do first would be I got this inverter down here. I'm going to unhook that because it's just an alligator clip here, and then I got it clipped down here on the output of the shunt. So I'm just going to unclip that, and then I'm going to unhook the batteries, and then really it's just moving whatever I have to out of the way. These things are 75 pounds a piece, so I'm going to try to lift them up out of here. This is, I'll probably have to just take that out of the way, unless I can slide that over, but I don't know, we'll see. And I was thinking I was going to have to take this whole front off and just slide them out, but if I do that, I pretty much have to redo everything in here, which I might anyway for my new battery, but we'll see how it goes. For now, I'm just going to, like I said, take the inverter off and unhook the batteries. I have this battery terminal fuse here, and that's my pretty sure that's my main feed that goes up to the bus bar, and everything feeds off of that. That little wire is my power to my shunt, so I'm going to try to just take it off here, and that's what will hook back to the new battery. So I should hopefully don't have to take all this off. So I have a frame, you can see that right there. I have this wood frame built all the way around these batteries, and then I had this ratchet strap hooked into that, and between the wood frame all the way around, the batteries can't slide, and then the ratchet strap, they can't bounce up. So I was going to try to slide that battery over to clear this, and I'm still going to try that, but I can't really film it. I'm going to have to kind of lift up on this end and slide it over and then pull it out. I can't just slide it because of that frame. I just unhooked the battery charger cables from the bus bars, and that's just one more wire that's out of the way. And I think I was thinking about pulling these inverter wires out, but they got these alligator clips on here. I could cut them off and put ring terminals on them, But well, the reason I don't want to pull them out is because I have to take them off the back of the inverter. That's how I got them in there, because of the alligator clips. Or like I said, I can just cut the alligator clips, put ring terminals, or I can just try to work around them, I guess. I pulled this I pulled the screw out of here so I could flip that up, get that out of the way. I really don't want to take this front end, because then I have to mess with this DC charger and all that. I really want to just pull these batteries straight out if I can. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to probably just move the negative bus bar, see if I can just lift them straight up. Alright, time for a break. I got those out. 75 pounds a piece. I think the new battery's like 30 pounds or 40 pounds. And it's just one battery, and it's about the same size as both of those put together. I got to try to get it in here without snagging any of these wires or breaking anything. Well, actually, before I do that, I'm going to take this charger off, because I'm not using that anymore. And then I'm going to take this charge controller off. And I'll probably go ahead and mount. Actually, well, and then I got to drill a hole out down there, because the charger, this hole right here is where these wires went through. My new charger has an Anderson plug on it that has to go through there, so I have to drill that hole out bigger. I want to get these batteries out of the way first. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. I'll probably get this out of the way, get all this out of the way, get these batteries out of here, make some room, drill that hole out. Then I could start mounting stuff. Or actually, I'm going to put the batteries in first, then I'm going to mount all this. Alright, I got the charge controller off, battery charger off, got the batteries out, and in here I got to remove this frame, because the new battery I'm putting it in the same size. So I'm going to try to reuse this if I can, because it's longer but it's narrower, so I might have to trim it a little bit. And it may not be like a perfect square like it is now, like it might have gaps or whatever, but as long as it's got something on all four sides, that's all I'm really after. And then I'm going to keep these hooks here so I can put my strap back on to hold it down. Alright, there's the new battery. Got the lead time 230 amp hour. It's barely gonna fit in here. It's I'm gonna have to get this charge controller out of the way and then figure out, I might have to mount it on the side here, but then I got to be able to get my wires hooked up too, so I can move my shunt if I have to too. The good thing about this battery, you can see, is it's skinnier this way, and I had 2 batteries in parallel the other way. So when I put this in here, I'm going to have way more room in this compartment. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to unmount that. That's my solar controller fuse, and that's my DC to DC charger. I'm looking at this wiring here. Yeah, I wanted to mount my battery like on the side and then put all this stuff on that side. If I use, I'm going to have this anyway to strap it down. So I'm thinking if I put one of those right up against that, then it'll give me space right there to have that up like that, so it ain't crushing that the inverter wiring there. So all right, I'm gonna take this out and just set the battery in there and see what happens. All right, it looks like kind of a mess right now. I may have to disconnect some of these wires and like rearrange them and, you know, get them untwisted or whatever, but I think that's about where everything's going to go. DC charger will go here. Got my my shunt will be up here. Negative bus bar will be up here, and I'm thinking this positive bus bar might be over here, but I'm not sure right now. I'm going to get the battery in here, and just got to move these wires out of the way, and the battery's going to go right in here. I have the negative bus bar pretty much straightened out. That's where that's going to go. This positive one, I'm just going to take it apart and redo it. I might have to rearrange the order, which it really doesn't matter. But I had, let's see, that was the solar controller. That's the DC to DC charger. That's the fuse block, and then that was the main feed in. So it really don't matter. This is just, they're just all connected. So I'm just going to rearrange them, and so they're not all like looking like spaghetti. And the way this is now, it's all twisted around and stuff. So I'm going to take everything off, mount. I'm probably going to have to mount it up here, and then just put them back on in a way that makes sense. Whew. No, my this is in the way now, so I'll have to take the screws off and pull that out, and then my heater wiring is in the way in the back, so it'll go. I just got to take that out. All right, got it in there. Plenty of room left over. And I even got room to scoot this over. Screw that thing down. I'll just put one on each side. May have to cut. I have to cut some of these boards. One of these shorter, but to keep it from sliding, you know, back this way. Check out the mess in here. I reminded myself earlier to set these dip switches on this DC charger because I have to reset them for lithium, and I forgot. So I had to take it back off. I could have reached them because they're back here, but I couldn't see what they said, which way's off, which way's on. So I unmounted it, which was kind of a pain because now I got the battery in here. So I had to use that ratchet down there because my impact wouldn't fit in there. So I'm going to reset those dip switches to lithium and then remount that and then continue on with the installation. I'll try to get that to show up on the phone. But I want to be at 14.4. Maybe I need to turn my light off. 14.4, so I want switch 5 off. Switch 3 and 4 is on. Switch 1 is off. And switch 2 is on. So I'm just, that's the dip switches right there. I'm just going to set that up. Alright, here's the progress I've made. I'm just straightening these bus bars out because if you don't have the wires just right, these things won't fit on there. So I had to rearrange a couple of them. They got to be like straight up and down so they come out of these notches here. So I got that all fixed, and all I got left, I got to mount the charge controller and the battery the shore power charger. And the shore power charger I've got the pigtail mounted in here. It's just got this Anderson connector on it. So that I just got to screw out here, mount it out here to the back of this wall, and then plug that in. And then I'm gonna, the last time you can see how them wires got smashed in the old charge controller. I got a ferrule kit. I'm gonna put some ferrules on here so it doesn't smash the wires. And then I just got to mount the charge controller, hook the battery up, put the fuse in, and then put the solar back on. So I'm hoping to get done by dark. It's getting there. I'm just putting the final touches on this now. I got my battery charger mounted, and then I ran that Anderson connection through that hole there. It's plugged in right there, and it's pretty much done. The one thing that's I gotta fix now is that piece of wood sits on this shelf I got all the way around here, and this is too high. So I'm gonna take this wood out and maybe put a piece of rubber. I just don't want this rubbing on the battery. So if I get a small piece of rubber and put under there, that'll lower that down, and hopefully that'll fix the problem. But other than that, there's my install. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.
Blue highways traveler, blue highways traveler.